Hello Aquarius and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for June 2023, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the oracle cards and clarified those. I have the tarot deck already shuffled that we'll be diving into, as well as the decks that we'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right. In your recent past, Aquarius, you have leave the past behind with the Nine of Wands. You are and have been at the end of a cycle, a really tough cycle. And I feel like, you have to remember, the closer you get to the end of a cycle, the more intense things are, the more difficult they seem, the more you're kind of tested and there's pushback from the universe. Now, you have every capability to break this cycle, but I do feel like it's going to take, I don't know if it's like some courage or some willpower or what it is, but I do definitely feel like it is going to take some strength for you to close this. Now, in your current energy, you have attuned to the divine with the Ten of Pentacles. So this cycle is what's keeping you from your Ten of Pentacles, from your long-term abundance, financially, emotionally, materially, spiritually. And I feel like right now is a time to really get in tune with yourself and with the universe and the divine, because I feel like there's certain divine guidance that is available to you that you're needing to really tap into right now. And if you don't know how to do that fully, then starting to learn. Meditation, listening to your intuition, paying attention to signs, just overall learning how to communicate with the universe. Because I will say, like, when I first started my spiritual journey, I think that was the coolest part of my journey, was learning how to communicate with the universe, how it was speaking to me, kind of how to respond, and things like that. So I definitely feel like you're in that energy of needing to really tap into that. Maybe you're a pro at that, right? And that's just right now is a time to really pay attention to your spiritual guidance. Now, in your immediate future, you have pushed through any insecurity with the world in reverse. So you're approaching the end of a cycle. And then in your future, I feel like you have the opportunity to close it. But I don't know what it's going to take. I know that it's going to take you pushing through some insecurity. That could be fear, limiting beliefs, just in general not feeling like you are deserving or capable or lovable or whatever the case is. So your immediate future is going to be facing those things that have kept you stuck in an energy of not receiving your abundance. Because if you are not living the life of your dreams, it is because a part of you does not believe it is possible. So Aquarius, let's start by looking at your recent past, clarifying leave the past behind with the Nine of Wands. This is for Aquarius's recent past, please. This is for Aquarius's recent past, clarifying leave the past behind with the Nine of Wands. Ooh, there's a breakthrough. There is a breakthrough you're needing to have here, Aquarius. Hermit in reverse. The Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like you've kind of been in this energy of like going through the motions, not really being fully like in it, like in your life. Like, I don't know. It's like you're living your life, obviously, but it feels like you're not maybe enjoying it, to the fullest or something. Like, it feels like this energy of being a little bit withdrawn, especially with the Hermit reverse. Now, the Ten of Pentacles in reverse can be an energy of not really fully seeing the good around you, not really seeing what there is to be grateful about, because you're not really aligned with yourself and your Ten of Pentacles, and you weren't in your recent past. Now, I feel like this breakthrough, it's interesting because I feel like what you've been through in your past is actually setting you up for this Ace of Swords. I don't really feel like this Ace of Swords has happened yet. Recent past for Aquarius. More recent past for Aquarius, please. What does Aquarius need to know about their recent past? The Four of Wands. See, you've been building, you feel like this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like you feel really, or have been feeling really unstable, unsecure, like not like grounded or not like stable. Like that's the word that's coming through, stable. But you don't realize it, that you've been actually building this foundation here. With the Four of Wands, you've been building a foundation, and I feel like it's a foundation for this breakthrough, which leads to you closing the cycle and therefore your Ten of Pentacles. But I don't necessarily know. I feel like this feels really vague, and I'm hoping that we get more information on this, because it's like you've been building, the foundation for your abundance or for your Ten of Pentacles. It's like slowly but surely you've been laying the groundwork. And whether or not you've been realizing that you've been doing that, that's what you've been doing. Recent past for Aquarius, please. But what does this leave the past behind say? Recent past for Aquarius. Seven of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. Woof! And then the Death card. What this is telling me is there's this cycle that has to end before you're going to get what you want. This is a lot about a cycle, some specific cycle. The cycle has to end before you get what you want. Okay, hang on. I want to clarify this death. Clarifying this death for Aquarius's recent past. Clarifying this death card for Aquarius's recent past. One more. Clarifying this death card for Aquarius's recent past. This has to do with like your priorities. The Four of Pentacles, Two of Cups, the Four of Cups with that death. Your priorities recently, or in your past in particular, haven't really aligned with the life you want to live. And that's one thing I've really learned about this journey, is that when we're trying to manifest something, there's only so much the universe can do, right? There's only so much the universe can, only so much heavy lifting the universe can do until we have to step in and do our part. And that's why it's called co-creation. We co-create our life with the universe. Now, if you're wanting something to happen, whether it be a certain financial abundance, a certain level of health that you're wanting to experience mentally or physically, a certain relationship that you're wanting to either sustain or attract, what you're not realizing is that there's something about, this is such a strange message coming through, something about your daily habits not aligning with the life you want to live, but aligning with the life that you have been living. So there's this need to realize if you want to experience more, you're going to have to do different. Now, I feel like that's what's leading to some sort of a breakthrough. Because you've been building this foundation, right, for things to change. But now you actually have to like take the divine guidance, which is why you have attuned to the divine. Interesting. Okay. Still feels vague. So let's see if we can get some specifics. Looking at Aquarius's current energy, clarifying attuned to the divine with the Ten of Pentacles. Clarifying attuned to the divine with the Ten of Pentacles. Clarifying this message, current energy for Aquarius. See, okay, you've been patient and you've been investing, but there's something holding you back. I don't know if it's like one particular habit or like something like what this reminds me of on my own spiritual journey is I was doing everything you could think of. I was doing the journaling, I was doing the praying, the meditation, the yoga, the spending time in nature, going on walks, doing the physical health, eating healthy, all of the stuff. But there was one thing I was still doing that I realized I needed to change about my her own personal habits. And this isn't saying this is what I think that you should do or what this is saying for you. But I realized that I needed to quit. I needed to cut out alcohol. I needed to quit drinking, both in a social level and like as a way to cut loose, to relax. And when I did that, things started to happen for me. Now, that one habit led to like a lot of other pieces, like changing that one habit led to like a lot of other pieces changing in my life. And in the book, The Power of Habit, by, what is his name? I talk about this, Charles Duhigg, Charles something. He talks about how there's like this core habit that we all have, that we usually have, I shouldn't say all have, but that we usually have that leads to a lot of our other bad habits. So for me, like drinking ended up, me spending more money or eating a little bit more unhealthy or being a little bit more lethargic or messing with my mental health. And it spiraled into other habits. And so I bring that up to say that there's one specific thing. I feel like it's one habit. It could be a few. It's like you're doing the work, you're putting in the time, but there's one thing that you're needing to change or to shift so that the pieces can fall into place for you. I hope this is making sense because it went from being very vague to very specific. All right, current energy for Aquarius. And I have no judgment for anyone who drinks or enjoys alcohol as a way to let go or cut loose. I realized it didn't align with my own personal journey. So I had to cut it out for me. Okay, current energy here for Aquarius. Current energy for Aquarius. There's this need to set boundaries, but it's boundaries with yourself. Because here you are, King of Swords, whether you are male or female. It's boundaries with yourself because, yeah, this is the world in reverse with the Nine of Swords. It's like something is contributing more to your fear than to your purpose or to your outcome. I don't know what that is yet. I don't know if it's an attachment or what. And the reason it's like in order to receive, you're needing to set more boundaries with yourself. And that's what, and I'm going to keep bringing this up throughout the reading because it's the best way that I can apply it to like my experience to kind of like materialize what I'm trying to say a little bit more. Like when I decided to quit drinking, I mean, I set these stern boundaries with myself, and it wasn't like I'm going to cut back or I'm going to have, one or two every couple weeks. It was like, I'm going to cut it out. And I had to set boundaries with myself and saying, well, I'm not going to put myself in positions in the beginning where I knew that I would be tempted or that I would want to. And those boundaries that I set with myself led to the progression of my path in a way that I ultimately needed. Now, setting boundaries with yourself is hard because when it's easy to set boundaries, no, it's not easy to set boundaries with other people, but it's easy to see where we need to set boundaries with other people. When you feel like you're getting treated poorly or whatever the case, it's easy to be like, okay, yes, I need to set a boundary with this person because I can see the way that this is affecting me. But oftentimes we don't realize how our own self-sabotaging habits are affecting us. And we don't realize that we actually need to set boundaries with ourselves too. For instance, setting a boundary of saying like, I'm only going to indulge in like TV watching for like 1 to 2 hours, or like, I'm only going to allow myself to scroll on my phone or on TikTok for a certain amount of time. And like, these are just examples of like how I've had to set boundaries in my personal life. And this could be on a bigger scale. Like, I don't know, like it's just like there's this need to set boundaries with yourself to say, I know that these certain habits or this one habit is really affecting me, and I have got to set a boundary with myself out of self-love and knowing that I deserve better in order for me to reach my end goal. It's interesting because I haven't really had a reading like this before. It's interesting. I hope it's resonating for someone out there. All right, current energy for Aquarius, because you're receiving guidance about some sort of cycle, some sort of habit, or maybe it could be multiple habits, but that's blocking you from your 10 of Pentacles. Current energy for Aquarius. One more. Current energy for Aquarius, please. Eight of Cups in reverse. Let me clarify. There's something, it's like something that you're not leaving behind. Something that you know is negatively affecting you, your mental health, or and like, when it talks about leaving the past behind, like when I quit drinking, I realized that I had to grieve like the old version of myself that like used that to have fun and used that to connect with other people and use that in a social way. Not that I ever had a drinking problem or anything like that. But it definitely like, I had to grieve like my past self. And so oftentimes when we're having to change a habit or walk away from, and sometimes a habit can be people. Like you have a habit of going back to the same person who ends up hurting you like over and over again. Like some sort of habit that has affected, it's like something that you would look at like your past self and be like, that's what my past self would do. But you know you're not that person anymore. But you're having a hard time leaving it behind. Because it's like, you're not aligning with who you want to be. There is a part of you that's still aligning with the past version of yourself. And it's like there's this need to break out of that so that you can have this future version of yourself that aligns with your 10 of Pentacles. So let's shift gears. Let's look at your immediate future. This is immediate future for Aquarius. So you've been building this foundation, but there's just one thing that you're needing to change that's going to open up, I don't know if it's opportunity for you or it's going to lead you forward towards this 10 of Pentacles more. Immediate future for Aquarius, please. Push through any insecurity with the World in reverse. Immediate future for Aquarius. It is sabotage. This is literally my card for self-sabotage. The Knight of Wands in reverse, and then you have the Nine of Wands. This self-sabotage is what has kept you stuck in this cycle, but your inner child is at play. There's a part of your inner child energy that keeps you attached to this. So what is this Page of Wands talking about? So this kind of feels like a cycle of self-sabotage, even. Sabotaging yourself, knowing that you're doing something that you shouldn't in some way, shape, or form. But what is this Page of Wands talking about? The Two of Wands in reverse. See, what this is saying is something doesn't align with who you really are. Something doesn't align with who you really are. And you know this. It's like there's a part of you that really knows this. But you keep going back to it either as a coping mechanism or as a way, like you hope, or you keep going back to it or stay with it because you hope that it'll change into something better or something. So in your immediate future, there's this need to, the only way you're going to break out of this cycle is if you change this habit. Immediate future for Aquarius, please. Immediate future for Aquarius, please. Immediate future for Aquarius, please. For Aquarius's immediate future. You know, so Three of Swords in reverse with the Justice in reverse. We accept below what we think we deserve. And oftentimes we sabotage ourselves because the cycle of sabotage is familiar and easy. We're so used to dealing with the guilt and the disappointment in ourselves whenever we make a decision that we know isn't best for us. But at the same time, that self-sabotage is our manifestation of not believing that we are deserving of better for ourselves, right? And whenever you choose to choose better for yourself, whenever you choose to make better decisions or to overcome temptations or to overcome like the pull to something that you know isn't best for you, your insecurity often arises because, you know, there's guilt associated with who you used to be and the type of person that would have been okay with it. Like it just feels like it's like your past self is fighting right now with your future self. And I will say that that is something that kind of surprised me about this journey is every time you level up, every time you get to a new phase of growth, there is always a grief period for the person who you used to be and you thought you were going to be for a lifetime, right? And that comes with letting go of people and situations and habits that don't align with the person that you're wanting to become because you know that you can't take everything where you're going. And so there's this level of seeing that you've got to take accountability and say, what can I do? What is within my control? What's within my control of what I can do to be the best version of myself? And take a look at your habits and see what doesn't align with my worth. And then make a decision to choose not to invest in it anymore. Because you're doing a lot of things right. Like, I don't want you to think that this is like, oh, you're doing everything you're doing is wrong, and granted, right and wrong is always relative, right? But you're doing what you need to be doing, but there's something in particular that you're still holding on to from like a past version of you that's needing to be released. All right, one more for Aquarius's immediate future, because this is how you get your 10 of Pentacles. This is how you get what you want. Immediate future for Aquarius. Unfortunately, to receive at a higher level, you have to radiate, to vibrate at a higher level. Immediate future for Aquarius. Not unfortunately, it's the whole point of life. But immediate future for Aquarius. Move forward from this devil. There's an attachment to something, someone. And this is what is keeping, it's like you're waiting on things to change, or you're waiting on things to get better, or you're waiting for things to improve in your life, but keeping old habits the same. And old habits die hard, right? There's a reason that's a saying. But I also feel at the same time that there needs to be because there's the world in reverse. The only way this cycle is going to complete is when you move forward from this attachment. This person, situation, or addiction of some sort. Like, I don't know. Again, people can be addictions too. It's just like, yeah, it's like the past you, it's like past you versus future you. That's what this feels like. All right, we're going to hop on over to the extended. Any information for that's in the description box below. I'm going to clarify these messages, dive deeper into them, and then actually pull an advice card for you at the end from Spirit. Thank you so much, Aquarius, for your support of my channel, especially through the purchase of these extended readings. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you absolutely nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right. Goodbye, Aquarius.